right, we have simple solution number 26, answers. All right, number 1, we are looking for the difference between 9,000 and 3,641. Clearly, with those zeros, we are going to have to do some regrouping before we can subtract through every place value. All right, so half the difference is 5,359. As always, we know that we can. If we add these two together, the difference and the minuend, or the subtrahend, and you add it together, and you should get 9,000 as the minuend, and that's a guaranteed 100% correct. All right, so give yourself a check. All right, number 2 is comparing. Choose a sound that makes a sentence true. Now, the key here with fractions is when your denominators are the same, all you have to do is look at the numerators and pick which one's bigger. So because the 5's on the left, this is going to be less than. All right, 1 hour equals blank minutes. Give yourself a check if you have 60. All right, number 4, we are looking for the sum here. So we are going to add for the sum of 65,604. All right, number 5, use the distributive property to multiply 519 times 2. We know how to do this. You could do 500 times 2, 10 times 2, and 9 times 2. That's using that expanded form distributive property. All right, so 500 times 2 is going to give me 1,000. 10 times 2 is 20. 9 times 2 is 18. For the product of 1,038. Number 6, we're going to round this number to the nearest 10,000. So find the 10,000s place, go next door, think about your halfway mark, and that 6 is greater than your halfway mark, so that 8 has to go up to a 9, and everything after becomes a 0. 90,000. All right, number 7 says 30,000 equals 3,000 times what? Hopefully when you see this, you're focusing on the number of zeros here. So the product has 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, and our factor has 1, 2, 3 zeros. So our product has one more 0 than our factor. So that means you're multiplying this number by 10. All right, number 8. Molly biked 4 times as many miles as Ollie. Ollie biked 8 miles. How many miles did Molly bike? All right, so Molly biked 4 times as many as Ollie. We know how many Ollie made, but we don't know how many Molly did. 8 times 4 is 32 miles. Give yourself a check if you got it. All right, now we're talking about baking pies. She baked 102 pies during weeks 1, 2, and 3, but during week 4, she baked 120. Customers bought 300 total pies. About how many pies did not sell? 100 or 200? Well, if you think 1, 2, and 3, those first 3 weeks are about 100 each. So that's about 300 pies. Okay, in the 4th week, she baked 120. So that's going to give us roughly 420. Okay, so if they bought 300 pieces, so we have to subtract off 300 to get a rough estimate, and it's 120, so about 100 pies did not sell. All right, number 10 says draw a right angle. All right, right angle is our perfect square. And you had to tell me how many degrees it was, and hopefully you wrote 90 degrees. All right, write 3,000 don't forget your comma. 60-9 is fully correct. Number 12, Jerry counted 18 deer on his nature walk. That is 9 times as many as he found on his walk last Tuesday. Choose the best equation to find what he saw on Tuesday. So we don't know how many he saw on Tuesday. Where 18 is your total, B is the correct option, where D is 2. Okay, 13, expanded form, 80,000 plus 1,000 plus 300 plus 20 plus 2. Right? Is 25 prime or composite? Well, to figure that out, you have to determine whether you have to list the factors. Obviously, 25 has more than 2 factors, so this is composite because it has, you had to explain this, more than 2 factors. You had to explain that. All right, is angle TLB acute or right? So last simple solution, I told you in a video that if it's easier to make a right angle, and if it's less than a right angle, it's acute, and if it's greater than, it's obtuse. So this is an acute angle.